the Turner Free Library, and today we're reading Clifford the Small Red Puppy. How many people know Clifford the Big Red Dog? I do. And how many people love Clifford the Big Red Dog? #1 fan right here. Love the books, love the TV show. Let's learn a little bit more about how Clifford came to be Clifford. Hi, I'm Emily Elizabeth, and this is Clifford, my big red dog. Yesterday, my friend Martha said, "Your dog is very big and very red, but where did you get him?" "I got my dog from a fancy pet store." So I told her how I got Clifford. When I was little, I lived in the city and I didn't have a dog. One day, the man down the hall called us. His dog had puppies. He wanted to give me one. One puppy was smaller than the rest. I liked him. I said, "I want this one." The man said, "Don't take him. He is the runt. He will always be small and sick." But I loved that little puppy. He needed me. I decided to call him Clifford. He was so tiny that I had to feed him with the doll's baby bottle. Imagine being that little. We got the smallest collar we could find for Clifford, and it still was too big. When he began to eat dog food, we had to watch him all the time because he might get lost in that big bowl. He was so little that he was always getting lost, even in our small apartment. Look, he's in the shoe. So cute. Daddy said Clifford was just too small. He didn't think he'd live through the winter. I was very sad. That night, I let Clifford sleep on my pillow. I told him I wished he would grow to be a big, healthy dog. Then I told Clifford I loved him. So cute. Ooh. Next morning, he looked a little bigger to me. He seemed to have an easier time eating his dog food, and his collar wasn't so loose. In fact, by the time Daddy got home, the collar was too small, so small in fact that it snapped off. By bedtime, Clifford's tiny basket seemed a little too small for him. Oh no. So I let him sleep on my pillow again. That was a mistake. Next morning, Mommy thought Clifford looked different. Daddy said, "I think he's growing." I decided to take Clifford for a walk. We all love taking walks, don't we? Especially with our pets. At the corner, I saw a big dog coming. I knew I should pick Clifford up so the big dog couldn't hurt him. I shouldn't have worried. Clifford's big. Clifford really was growing. We ran home to show Mommy how big he was. Had our apartment door grown smaller? Oh, Clifford can't even get in the house. Daddy couldn't believe it. We put Clifford in the garden to sleep that night. In the morning, the lady upstairs called us. It was about Clifford. In fact, all the neighbors were starting to notice him because he's kind of big. The landlord called the police. They came to see Clifford. They said Clifford would have to go. But how? He couldn't go through the door. One policeman had an idea. There was one way to get Clifford out of our garden. It was by crane, y'all. And into this moving truck, we sent him to live with my uncle who lived in the country. Plenty of space for a big dog, right? But I was sad. I missed my little puppy. And he missed me. One day, we got a surprise. My uncle wanted Daddy to come work for him in the country. We could be with Clifford. We moved right away. Ooh, get Clifford's tail thumping there. Clifford was waiting for me. I said, Clifford, stop growing. You are just right. So I said to Martha, that's how I got my dog. Tell me again how you got your dog? Martha said, forget it.